All right, so we are live now. So I'm going to be working on Killing.Zone again. I talked about it in the last stream. I don't want to really go over it and waste everybody's time that saw it last time. So I'm just going to pick up where I left off, and it looks like I somehow got logged out of my Trello on the other screen. So I'm going to log back in because I kind of need that roadmap to know what I'm doing. Okay, so let's see. Logging in, opening up the roadmap for this game, which you cannot see at this time. So I have a couple tasks on here. It looks like the first one is he being my boss wants a UI to show the network stats. So that's actually pretty easy to do. Let me just open up the time manager real quick. Looks like this should show the current latency, the average, minimum, and the maximum. So the current latency is kind of an average. It's a rolling average of, I think, 3 seconds. So I don't know if we need both of those, but I can definitely add them in. So let's see. What I want to look at is I have a ping interval, and I don't know if I exposed it. I did, but it is internal only. So I was actually going to use this for my project or this project. So I think I'm going to expose this, and I need to make sure I expose that in the public release as well. This is one benefit of using your own product is you run into situations where people might run into when they're developing. So what I'm going to do is change that to a public byte, and the reason I need that public is because I'm going to determine how often to grab the ping based on that interval. So let's just make a new script, I suppose. It's going to, I imagine, be under the gameplay UI. So let's go to canvases. Doesn't really qualify under any of those. So I'm going to put it here until I can find a nice home for it. Ping, no, let's say network. Actually, let me just check something. So it says network stats, but all he has on here is the latency. I wonder if he would be interested in having the through traffic as well. If you're watching, David, which I assume you are, go ahead and let me know if you also want me to show the through traffic as well, such as data that's sent and received. So let's just set this up with the ping for now, though. Network display. This doesn't have a home yet, so like I said, I'm not going to give it a namespace per se. I'll probably start it off as this one, but it might change. Let me just see something here. I'll put this under statistics for now. Okay, so he said all the stuff, so I'm going to also put in a traffic monitor to this as well. So let's go ahead and start with the ping, though, since that's already there. So let's see. let's do a serialized field, private text mesh pro UGUI or UGUI. And this is going to be the, come on. There we go. This is going to be the ping text. I think I'm just going to use one text box for the ping and just kind of use returns. Yeah, of course you can ask a question. Let's say average. I don't think the average and the current really has, I don't think they kind of belong together because they're basically the same thing. So like I said, the current is a rolling average. So I'm gonna do minimum and maximum. This is just if we want to show these values or not. I don't know if I want a min-max drop off. I assume we will down the road, but that's going to take a little bit of thinking about how I go about it. So I'm going to come back to that. Okay, sorry, I was reading the chat. All right, so let's do this in update, I suppose. Yeah, we'll do update. Update's fine. It's one script, it's not going to really hurt anything. I will do this though. I'm going to do if time dot frame count divided by 100. Actually, do this a different way. I'm going to cache the ping interval so I don't have to look it up every time. Actually, again, I'm going to do this a little bit different. No, I am going to do it this way, actually. Sorry. So let's go ahead and set the ping interval to this. You know, I thought I would need this public, but the more I think about it, the less I think I do. So let me go ahead and make this internal again. I just don't really see needing that. I'm just going to update this every second. That should be more than enough. Or actually update it every half second. I just don't think I really need that bit of information to optimize it. It just doesn't seem like it's necessary. Okay, first, if instance, let me do this first. Time manager, tm equals instance finder dot time manager. If tm is null, then return. We can't update if we can't look at the time manager. And I'm also not going to run this check every time because I don't want it to be excessive. So I'm going to do if instead time.time is less than next update time, then return. I feel like this check is maybe slightly less costly than this, but it's probably not. It's really close, I'm sure. So next update time equals time.time plus 1f, or I'm sorry, let me just make a constant for that. Every half a second. Okay. So let's see. If this is null, we can't proceed, of course. But if it's not null, then the ping is going to be, I think it's a long. Do I have it as a long? It's called round trip time, I believe. Yeah, it's a long. Okay. So this is going to be our current ping. Let's make these a little more obvious. Maximum and minimum ping doesn't really make sense. Highest and lowest ping makes more sense in terms of wording. So real quick, we're just going to do highest ping equals math f dot max highest ping. So it's just going to pick whichever is higher between the two. So I need to cast that to a long. And same thing for the lowest ping. Except this time. So the issue actually with this is the lowest ping is going to start off as 0. So it'll always show 0 as the lowest ping. I think ping might be default 0 too. So that's something we need to consider. So I'm going to do if ping doesn't equal 0, only update it if the ping is not 0, which will be 0 if you're like disconnected, or if it's default, which the ping hasn't updated yet. So what we're going to do is that, and then we're going to start the, I'm going to change this up. So what I was going to do is I was going to set this to long.max value, but that's not exactly clear as to why I'm doing that. And I could put it in the comments, and basically what I'd be doing is if the ping was updated below max value, then it would simply update to the newest ping. But I don't want to display it at max value either, because that'd be really, really confusing. So what I think I'll do is keep them at default, and I'll just do something like this. So we're going to have the ping, highest ping, lowest. First, if ping equals 0, then return ping isn't updated yet. That's the first check. That will save us some trouble. The next check is if lowest ping equals 0, or ping is less than lowest ping, then lowest ping equals ping. So this makes sense, right? Update lowest ping to ping if lowest is unset, or if ping is lower. So that makes sense, right? We're going to do the same thing with the highest ping. So highest ping equals 0. Actually, we don't actually need the 0 check because it'll be defaulted to 0. So we'll just do if ping is greater than highest ping, then highest ping equals ping. All right, so that's actually a pretty efficient way to do it. And it's really obvious what's going on in the code. So it's easy to follow. All right, so now all I need to do is just display it. So I'm going to do system.environment.newLine. I believe this is a string. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to do my text. Result equals. Oh, you know, I need to actually. No, it's already as a long, so it's already in the right format. So I'll do ping.toString. Actually, I'm going to do it a little bit different, just slightly. Ping to string ms. Let me look at the Trello, see what he put there. Okay, so he does have the ms after it. Okay, ms plus new line. Why is it putting it way over there? Okay, and then we're going to do, is it the lowest? Yeah. Now we're going to do lowest ping.toString, and then again ms. I wonder if, it might be because I haven't closed it off yet. So let me try closing it off. No. Okay, it doesn't like returns. I've never tried to do that with the string builder. I might have to use like an underscore to show that's going on to the next line. But for now, I'm just going to leave it alone. All right, so right now we just have the numbers. It doesn't really tell what's what. So I'm going to just go back over to here and add it in. I feel like I'm just going to do ping and then new line. And then forgot my new line. Okay, and now I'm going to update the text. That should be it. Should be all I need. So let me go ahead and start up Subspace here, which is actually called Killing.Zone. We all know how your games often get renamed several times throughout production. That's the case here. So it's not actually called Subspace 2. So let's see, this is going to be under the gameplay UI because why would you care about your ping otherwise? We'll always move it. We can move it if we need to though. So let's see, let's open this up. And I feel like this should, I'll make a new canvas for it. Network canvas, and I'm just going to drop it right there because why not? All right, so do we know where the ping's going? Looks like, let me look at the pictures here. Oh, okay. So he pasted it near the left, top left right here. I guess it doesn't really matter where I put it for now because it's going to be easily movable. So let me just put something in here. Let's just make a new, well, first I need to put a canvas on there. It is indeed a world space canvas. Now I need to make a new object. Ping. And let's put the network display here. Normally I won't do this. Like if you, like the name of this script is called network display, but if you look here, everything else has ship overview canvas, energy canvas, message canvas. So on the top of the canvas, I'll usually just put like the canvas name with a script that controls, you know, the majority of it. And this would be like a sub item. So typically I'd put this underneath. But for now, just to test it out, I'm going to leave it on the top here, make it easy to find and whatnot. All right, so here's my ping box. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Why are you down here? I probably need a canvas scaler. Let me just go over here and then copy one of these. Okay. Why are you over here? Something's not right. Oh, you know, I actually want overlay. I don't want world space. Okay, so I should fix it. Like that just doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. All right, so I do want to align it to the top left because I want it to remain next to this thing here. So I'm going to go drag it over here. This is not my game per se. This is a game I've been working on, but this is actually a paid product. Or a paid job, I suppose. So this is the box where I'm going to have my ping, and I'm going to add a text mesh pro, and I'm just going to have it stretch out to this. I think I want it to align on the left, and starting at the top, which is already set. I don't know what size this font is, but I can find out pretty easily. So that's going to be under the player canvas, frame, local player. The bounty is size 46, and so is the player name. So that's what we'll start with here, is a 46 on the font size. All right, current ping, whatever. This is what it should look like. Okay. I want to make sure that this canvas is not interactable. So I'm going to add a canvas group thing to it. And I'm going to uncheck blocks raycast and uncheck interactable because I don't want this canvas to block anything. This just seems huge. It might be because it's the wrong text. So let me change the text. We're supposed to be using this one. That's a little better. It still looks kind of big to me. Like I feel like it shouldn't be that large. But again, I'm going to wait for the artist to tell me what's wrong before I change anything. So let's leave that at this, and let's go ahead and set up this here. Drop in the text. These were if I wanted to show like average, minimum, or maximum. I have a feeling the user is going to want that customization at some point, because most people are probably only going to care about the average, but there's always going to be, you know, someone that wants the highest or lowest. So this changes everything. I mean, not really. It changes a little bit, just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. I'm not even going to make the average ping an option because everybody is going to see their average ping. So let's see. Result plus equals lowest ping. And let me just put an into that. Result plus equals highest ping. Okay, so now we're going to do if lowest, oh, that's not right. Okay, I'm gonna rename these variables, but if minimum, if maximum. So that way it only adds on to them if we want to actually show these. I will add the new line just in case I want to put other things. It's not going to hurt anything by being there. So let's see. Rename. All right. We should be able to test this in real time too. Let's go ahead and fire it up and see where we stand. I need to start the server, which I'm doing right now on another window. As soon as it's reloading the scripts, hitting play, start server. I'm gonna move this over here so we can actually see it. Start client. Okay, so it's showing my ping of 33, 25, etc., which is right. So now if I go over here and I click show lowest, 25, perfect. Show highest, 33, again, working as intended. So now I'm going to just real quick test it out and simulate some latency. All right, now I'm going to turn it off. Perfect. Seems to be working just fine. The only thing I think would be nice is if this like dropped off after a certain time, because you might have like one spike when loading the scene or something, and some reason that might throw it all off. Then you're just going to be stuck with that ridiculously high number. So it makes sense that, if to me anyway, that it would drop off. What do you think, David, if you're still watching? Do you want it to drop off or do you want it to stick on there? While I wait for that, I'm going to make a backup or push it to the GitHub. Let me see something. Okay, so he wants it to drop off. I feel like 30 to maybe 60 seconds is a good drop off time. Now the problem is I guess it's not really a problem. It just depends on how detailed we want this to be. Is that, let's say I do a check that if the highest ping doesn't change for a minute, then it'll reset it to current ping. So that's not really a rolling drop off. That's like a one-time, that's like a one-time drop off. And if, let's say, if your ping as a high was 30 seconds in, let's say it was like 70, and then maybe another 15 seconds it was 100. So if we drop off the full value, it's not going to go to the 70 and then 15 seconds later drop off to the next lowest value like you would expect. It's just going to reset everything. So I could do a rolling thing for sure. Just need to think of how I'm going to do that. Probably going to use a structure. I know you can do multiple values in a list, but I think I'm going to use a structure and keep a structure of a list of that structure. So let's do private structure, ping value, I suppose, public float time, and public long ping. Here we go. Generate constructor, time when the ping was set. Let's use scaled time when the ping was set. It doesn't really make sense to have it scaled, does it? We'll do unscaled time when the ping was set. Ping at time. Okay. So let me go back down here real quick and then just change this to time.unscaled. As I was typing it out, time.time, I thought about doing unskilled as I was typing it out, but I'm like, I don't really see how it'd make a difference in this situation. But now that I'm adding this in, it kind of matters. So let's try to drop off pings. I'll add that check-in later. Why would that cause failure? Oh, so you just want me to do one check every 60 seconds? But I already started. Give me 5 minutes to do this, and let's see if I can get it done in 5 minutes, okay? And then we'll do the 60-second one if I can't. No, I need to do a for-I loop. That's confusing, the name. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So this is going to be added to the list. I'm just thinking real quick. Like I realized a potential problem either way. Okay, so I did just kind of figure out a potential problem, and I think it's going to take me more than 5 minutes to resolve it. So I'm just going to delete that and then go for the every rolling, or not rolling, but every 60-second drop off. So let's do that. I'm going to change it to 15 seconds for testing, and then I'll change it to 60 afterwards. All right, so if the lowest ping gets set, or like if it's updated with a new low ping, then we're going to reset the drop-off time for it, because I don't want it to drop off potentially immediately after it updates the value. So highest drop-off time equals time.unskilled plus peak drop-off. And then we're just going to do a real quick check here. If, I'm using this a lot, so let's just do float unskilled time equals time.unskilled time. Okay, let's get rid of this. And plus I messed up here. So that's not good. There we go. This will save us a bit of performance by caching it locally if we're going to use it several times. Okay, so if unskilled time is greater than highest drop-off time, then we'll do this as an else if here. So that would be it dropping off right here. I think that should do it. Let's test it out. I'm going to change the drop off to 10 seconds though, just for testing. Make it a little bit quicker. I don't need to wait a full 15 seconds for that. Who messaged me? Somebody messaged me somewhere. Who tagged me? Okay, I'm ignoring that for now. I have to. I can't do it in the middle of a stream. So let's see. Entering play mode again on the other screen. Starting client. So we got our pings right there. So that's my current ping. Let's go ahead and open up Clumsy again. You're going to see my screen turn black probably just for a second. Let's simulate some latency. Oh, I don't have it checked. I gotta check the other two things. There we go. I think the highest ping just dropped off, like right as I clicked that. So let me go ahead and start it up here. So that's clearly not working right because the lowest ping keeps dropping off early. The high ping seems to be working. It should go down to, you know, in this range, right? Yeah, so the high ping's working. I just goofed on the low ping somewhere. So let me go back here and check it out. See what I did wrong. Oh, no. Hold on a second. So let me just go through this out loud and see what the mistake is. If lowest ping is not set yet, or if the new ping is lower than the current lowest ping, then I'm going to set the lowest ping to the current value. And then I'm going to reset the drop-off time. So then here, instead, if the lowest ping has not become lower, then I'm going to see if enough time has passed since the drop-off, and if so, it should update the lowest ping to the current ping. I'm missing something super obvious here, but what am I missing? Okay, we'll do it this way then. Sometimes whenever I stream, like things just they'll confuse me for a second, and then I get anxious because I'm confused on camera. So then I can't solve it even more. So let me just do a quick debug here and see what happens. All right, so the A is not firing regularly. Is it actually working now? Oh. Oh my gosh. It was working the whole time. It was working the whole time. I thought it was broken because this was going down with every ping tick, but that makes sense because the lowest ping is changing. It was working the whole time. Okay. So that's working now. We have the drop off. Let's just change it to 15 seconds, I suppose. Hylic, this is not my game. This is a paid project I'm working on. Okay. I'm almost done with the comments. Almost done. It's not serialized, it's private. There we go. I know this seems like maybe pointless, but I do all my scripts like this, and whenever I get to bigger scripts, having these categories, especially since I can collapse them, makes it really easy to find things. Which when you get into bigger scripts, it can help quite a lot actually. All right. I am going to do one quick thing. That way it's not sitting with the fake values up here until we start. There we go. So now we want to do network statistics, like in and out traffic. So let me first back this up. Ping display complete. Commit and push. Okay. How do I want to do network traffic? I think that's actually going to be pretty easy to do. The end is definitely going to be easy. The out, I'm not sure yet. I don't think I have anything built in the fishnet yet to track the out. Let me just check. It's under my quality like get transport. So let's see. We got the whole like send to stuff, but it's all internal, of course. Okay. So I have no way to know how much data is being sent from the client to the server. This feels like something that should be built in the fishnet, right? Because it would just kind of suck if the user had to code something for this when it could be very, very, very simply built in. And I feel like a lot of people might actually use this, kind of like we are now. So let's go ahead and just add it in. The first thing I have to do though is I need to open up my fishnet project on another screen real quick, because this is not running the latest version. I don't think it's many versions behind. It's yeah, it's only like one version behind. But if I'm going to modify the core and make these changes for everybody, I want to do that on the latest so I can just drop it right back into fishnet. This is why I say, like, if you have like if you ever need to modify the core of fishnet, this is why I say don't do it. Just tell me what you need, and if it's a reasonable request, I will, I'll put it in. As long as it makes sense. Like if you don't have to do some weird if you have to do some kind of weird workarounds, or it's not like very fluid or fluent, I would definitely just, sorry, I'm multitasking on the other screen and my brain is not having any of it. But basically, if something makes sense where you would have to modify the fishnet core to have it, just let me know. Your odds are is I will put it in for you. It doesn't help that I have a little bit of a headache, but it's just a minor one though. It's nothing too bad. But that mixed with trying to multitask at the same time is just not great. Okay. Export desktop. Still exporting. What are you doing, Unity? I'm about to get into a fight with Unity. Come on. Okay, let me try again. Export. Okay, now I'm going to import it into this project here. Let's see, bring this over here. No, it's definitely not dehydration. I've had like 3 cups of coffee already. That was a joke. I've only had 1, and I've had 2 cups of water. Did that import? I don't remember seeing like the confirmation window to import. There it is. It like hit itself. Okay. I've already had like 2+ cups of water. Not dehydrated. I just get headaches pretty regularly. That's just my life. So let's see. Let's modify the heck out of this now. I guess it would make sense to... I'm not sure if I want to put this under the client manager / server manager or the transport manager, I feel like putting it under the client or server wouldn't really make sense because the client might want to know what information to get from the server, but also what they're sending to the server. And what do you guys think? Transport manager, or something else? This also feels like something I might end up changing later. Oh, I have an idea. Why don't I just make a frickin' statistics manager? Huh, duh. Just going to make a statistics manager. That's what I'm doing. Because I'm sitting here thinking about it, and then I'm thinking of other things I want to include down the road as well. So we're going to just make a new statistics manager, and everybody wins. Everybody being me, because I'm content with that decision. Where did you go? Down here. Okay, so let's go back to this real quick. I'm just going to open up another manager. Copy this. Like I'm pretty sure I have all the namespaces remembered, but it just makes more sense to copy it and not make such a simple mistake. All right, so statistics manager. Yeah, I'll add it automatically, I suppose. Oh, I don't really know if... Yeah, I'll add it automatically. So let me open up the network manager as well. Someone said that I should have an option to change the configuration path where the configuration file is saved. And I'm like, but if I did that, then I would have to have a config to save where the config is saved. So they're like, good point. All right, so let's just go to awake. Add statistics manager. Copy this. Yes, I know what it means when the text is like a dark, when it's a dark color, like you just saw, like this. I know it's redundant, but for some reason it makes me happy. I don't know why. So just going to leave it like that. Oh, I accidentally hit my mic. All right, so that's been added. No errors. Right now it doesn't actually do anything. So add actually. Let's just do, I suppose, an integer. This doesn't need to be public either, it should be internal. Although I might make this one, no, I'm not gonna make this one overridable or inherited. Initialize once internal. There's reasons I have names like that. It's mostly because I needed something to be consistent, but it also has to be obvious what it is. For example, that might be like a public method, but I can't make it, because it needs to be like internal. Like I basically need it to be public so it can be accessed, but I don't want users touching it. That's why I put internal at the end. I hope it stops people. I don't know for sure. So this is actually perfect for a script I already have. So let me go to my time manager class. I know I just like jump from one thing to another saying like, oh, this is perfect, and you have no idea what I'm talking about. So I actually have something here for my ping or my round trip time. Okay, ping average. Okay. Sorry, just thinking silently here. I wonder how quickly I should update the network statistics. Like, how often do other games usually update them? I don't usually run mine in games, so I'm not really sure. Like, I know a way I could do this so it's like a rolling value, but I don't want to burden it too much. Like, I don't want to make this CPU intensive, because obviously why would I want that in my core? I mean, every second's doable. That makes... So I'm not going to actually use this right now. Once or twice a second. Depends, could be helpful to have it. Yeah, I'm just thinking how I want to like queue it up and roll it out, because I can't just like add on stuff for a second and then this... Actually, I could do that actually. Yeah, okay. Let me make an event here. On I feel like I should have this as like subclasses almost. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to do I might want to actually have more. I was going to say do a Boolean for server or client in the actual value, but there's a fair chance I might want to add in arguments later. So instead I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy the namespace, go here. I still need to be in my statistic. Oh, whoops. Okay. So if anyone decides to use this, you've been warned, this is experimental. I'm going to add that before I finalize it because there's a fair chance I'm going to change this quite a bit. I think it'll work fine, but I'm probably going to change it and grow on it. So you've been warned if you decide to use that. Don't be surprised. There we go. This is better. I'm happy with this. All right, so let's see. I'm going to do, are you ready for this? Initialize once internal. No, I'm not gonna actually. No, I'm not gonna do it. I do have. Oh, I do have that. Okay. I thought I named it something different, and I thought you were just being funny. But okay, you're we are gonna do this. Actually, I lied. All right. So let me just do private network manager. Manager. Actually, I'm gonna full name it. By the way, if you don't like the name of your methods like this, let me give you a pro tip. If you're developing for the public, do not rename methods just because you don't like the name of it. That affects everybody. Don't do it, Mirror. Don't do it. Okay. So anyway, but this is internal. So if I wanted to rename these, I would just do it because it's not going to hurt anybody. But continuing onwards. So let's see. We got the local client data sent. Do I want to? I'm not going to use the time manager. I was going to use the time manager to check off an update, but it's kind of excessive. It's probably over engineering it. Okay. Update network traffic. I know I like pause a lot sometimes when I'm writing new code or new logic, and not necessarily adding on to something. That's because I'd rather think it out than rewrite it like 5 times. And that's why a lot of times you'll just see me like staring at my screen here or seemingly not doing anything. I'm like, that's not going to work. That might work. No, that's a problem. That might work. But I'm not actually doing anything. No, your image isn't frozen. I'm running thoughts through my head to think about the best way of doing something. Okay. Oh, I didn't make a constructor for it? I guess I did not. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be received. And this is going to be the I guess I'll just do server to client bytes. I already see a potential problem with this, is that the network traffic is only going to be available on the client because of how this is set up. So I'll just have to change it slightly. I'll think about that later on my spare time. And the reason is because like this is basically saying that it's received, and I'm passing in data received from the server, or the amount of bytes that's received from the server. This is fine for the client, but if you're doing server only, this is confusing because it's going to be bytes sent to the client, not received from the clients. So I'll need something in there to figure that out, all smart-like and whatnot. Rename this. There we go. All right, local client sent data. Just going to do a real quick check because you never know. If yeah, I guess I'll just is this going to work? Oh, okay, yeah. Basically what I'm doing is I'm making sure that the value client to server bytes is going to be set to whichever is smaller of the current value plus data length or ulong max value. This is to prevent an overflow. I can't imagine that would ever overflow, but somebody's going to do it at some point, doing something crazy like that they shouldn't be. I guess I would say it wouldn't overflow under normal circumstances. Okay. I'm not using this yet, but I probably will later. So I'm going to keep that in there. So now I just need the, where did it go? Network display script, here we go. The reason I'm adding these in is because the client is probably going to be able to adjust if they can see these stats or not, I imagine. I already know my boss is going to say yes, so that's what I'm doing. Why I'm adding the public void set, and I don't like making things public, just because it's just a habit of practice of, you know, how I've been taught, I suppose. Plus, there's a chance I may want to hook something into this later. Yeah, it's fine. And I do believe once I'm done with this bit, I will probably call it, because it looks like we've been streaming for about an hour 15. I didn't label the other one. I don't know why I didn't put those in these. Well, okay, so lots of coding, nothing visual yet, at least for the network traffic. The ping's working, of course. Copy that. Generally speaking, in games, I feel like these are close together, but again, I'm just going to put it here. All right. I'm going to make this so it automatically changes to like kilobytes, megabytes, etc. But for now, this is what it's going to look like just to make sure it is working. All right, so now all I have to do is just hook it up. So that's just going to be under the transport manager. And I'm going to do it on the iterate and iterate outgoing is going to be here. So now I'm going to do, these don't need to be below that, I suppose. It doesn't really, it doesn't matter. Okay, so iterate outgoing. I need a reference to the statistics manager. I spelled it wrong, but maybe it will fix itself. Well, I was hoping. Just gonna start over. Okay, so let's see. If this is sending from the server, which I don't care about at this time because the stats are only for client side, which that will change probably very soon actually. But for right now, for this test, I want to test client side. So can I just do it here? Let me just hop over to this real quick. Oh, that's right. That's part of the transport, so that's not going to work. Okay. That's fine. And now I need one from the server. Server. That's going to be, I think, under the server manager. I'm going to have to definitely tidy this up so it makes more sense, because to pull the outgoing, I have to go through the transport manager, and to pull the incoming, I have to go through the server manager. And I don't like that at all. Even though it's internal, it doesn't really, I don't like how it separates the code. So I'll probably be doing something about that as well before this becomes officially released. All right. So this is actually, I said server manager, but I meant client manager. So let's go here. Here we go. Going to check something real quick. Okay. Again, I need to update the terminology and whatnot used here. I just want to get it working right now. All right, so let's check this out, I suppose. I imagine it's going to work. I say that as like I'm asking myself questionably if it's going to actually work. I don't see why I wouldn't. What the heck? Okay. Just having a small issue on my other screen here. So I accidentally recompiled while in play mode. You guys didn't see it, but I did. And it is holding the port hostage that the session was on. So it's probably going to be like that for a minute or two, or until I restart Unity. So I'm just going to change the port real quick off screen. Uh-oh. I broke something. I don't know what I broke, but I broke something. It's probably a null reference that's causing a weird chain of errors, but let me find out. You can't, I'll show you on this side. See. Did my thing get purged? No. Nope. What the heck just happened? All I did was add this script. I think Unity's being trouble. I think something is going on with Unity, so I'm just going to try and restart these editors. What the heck did I do? Okay, so maybe something isn't being done properly with the statistics manager. Let me see if it's adding first of all. I feel like it probably is. Yeah, it's in there. I'm going to comment out the code where I actually talk to the statistics manager real quick. I don't know why you would be doing that, but just see what I can figure out here. Get rid of these windows here. Well, I never initialized it, but it's just interesting that all right, let's basically undo what I did, kind of. I mean, all I did was just add a statistics manager. Why are you lying to me? Okay, that's fine though. So it's trying to initialize the prefabs range, starting with 0. And that is going through that. And prefab.update network. Oh, I wonder. Oops. Okay, this is because I imported the new version and it's a work in progress. I totally forgot about that part. So it's not really a big deal. I can fix this. Just give me 1 second. Ignoring all of this. I totally forgot about this. This is remember earlier in the stream I said I was going to import from my latest developer branch. I forgot that I had this as a work in progress and it's not complete. So yeah. So I just need to revert that real quick. Okay, I think that's all I have to do. Okay, that was it. Now I'm going to redo the changes I commented out. So add statistics manager. I have to initialize it as well. It doesn't really matter at what point it's initialized. And now I need to go here and uncomment these again and then go to here and uncomment that. And let's see if it works. You guys got the peek behind the curtains slightly. I was nothing special. I'm just working on the full nested objects. Okay. Oh my goodness. Something else is not working right. What have I done? Give me 1 second. It's gotta be something in the network object class because that's what I've been working on. Like these aren't used, they're not supposed to be used. Get rid of them. Well, that's kind of frustrating. Fortunately, all of the work I've done has been in this project only. I didn't really have to modify fishnet much at all. So I'm just going to import the last stable version that's not a test version. So let me just roll something back here. I'm going to export it off screen. Once I get it open, that is. Yeah, I mean, that's something that's been planned for a really long time to begin with, the child knobs. And you can actually have child network objects, but you can't right now treat them as individual objects. So give me 1 sec. Let me just export this real quick. But yeah, you could have child network objects, but if you were to try to despawn like the child object, it just won't work. You'll actually despawn the parent one instead. So it's kind of partially supported. Basically, what happens is it just sets it as not networked for that particular child, and it lets you like build prefabs that are networked within one another, but it doesn't let you control them individually yet. And that's what I was working on adding in. It's something that's been planned for a while. It's just slowly been, coming to. All right, so I'm going to try and start, and I won't expect any errors. No errors, great. So I do need to add the code back in real quick. Shouldn't take but a mere second though. Oh, I did lose the statistics manager, didn't I? Okay. It's fine. I'm going to change all this and finalize it in the main version off screen. I just want to make sure it's working first, because I'm about ready to pack this up and take a break, so I just honestly want it to be working right now. All right, now I'm going to assign it. Because I have to add it manually, because I haven't added that part in yet. Okay. It's not showing because I have a custom editor for this. That's why the field is not displaying. So I am going to have to auto add it here. There we go. And now I'm going to remove it. Again, this is just for testing. That's why it's so sloppy right now. All right, server is started. Object. Okay. I think because I did some weird stuff that it isn't happy with the prefabs here. So I'm just going to click refresh default prefabs, and I'm doing it on both the, holy crap, that took a while. Did not like that. Why did that take so long? Okay then, maybe Unity was just doing something at the time, I don't know. All right, so no errors because everything's lined up. Doesn't look like it's showing data, and that's because I don't know if I subscribed to the event. I don't think I did. So let me just do that real quick. Yeah, I didn't write any of this part. Whoops. It's all right. This is only going to take a second because I'm just going to get it going. So let's just do ulong from client from server. I'll just say actually, yeah, I'll just do this. So I do see a potential problem with this. I'm going to put all the code down here. Just go back here. So basically what the problem was is that this event was invoking them one at a time. So if I wanted to update the values from the event, I would have to like cache them, and that is just a pain in the butt. So instead I just put them both in here. And this is going to get cleaned up. Like this is probably going to be a completely different workflow. Okay. All right, think that will do it. Let me just make sure I have the text box set. I'm pretty sure I do. I remember doing it earlier. I just want to make sure. Yep, okay. Starting play in the other editor. Starting play here. I guess I didn't really, oh no. Well, that's not good. It's not going to let me. So it's flickering, like I can see it updating, but I don't know if it's happening so quickly, or let me just. Because I would expect the value to go up to some degree. That's updating every frame on my other screen, so that's not right. Okay. So that's the problem there. If time dot unskilled time is less than plus, we'll just say every second. There's your problem. So the values were changing, but it was updating so quickly that that you couldn't see the changes. Okay, cool. So that's obviously not good. I'll need to look into that. It's probably from our hack job. But it looks like it's working properly. It's getting in 16 bytes, 10 bytes, etc. Sending out 10 bytes. And it's not going to let me load anything because of that error, which sucks, because otherwise we should see it go up. I think actually I can, however, on the other screen on my server, speed up the send rates on things. So let me go down here to my time manager. For example, I have a ping interval to 1, which is the lowest, and the timing interval to 2. So if I lower the timing interval, you know, I kind of expected that to stay up. But let's see if I move this to a higher value here. Well, you know, I'm not really sure where that 16 bytes is coming from, because I have my ping interval and my timing interval set higher, unless I cache them somewhere, but I don't think I do. Oh, you know what? Let me check something. I think I know what's going on. Nope, I guess I don't know what's going on. So I thought maybe it was because I adjusted it on the server, because the client actually sends the ping request on their end. And if you modify this at runtime on the client to something other than what the server expects, you're going to have a bad time. The server will kick the client for trying to abuse pings. Okay, well, that's weird. I didn't get the error that time. Interesting. I'll have to look at it. It's so weird, but yeah, you can see the bytes are going up now, the incoming and the outgoing. And if I stop moving, let me get somewhere it's easier to see. There we go. Now it's going back down to idle. So that's pretty cool. That seems to be working. I'm sure it could use a little bit of fine tuning, but overall it's working. I'll switch it to like kilobytes, megabytes, etc. And I'm probably just going to include this right inside Fish Networking whenever I get it set up, because I could definitely see this being useful. Plus I'd like to have it built in so I can remove my hacks here. it shouldn't take that long to drop down in incoming bytes. I think it's because the server is sending the redundancy, or maybe the client is, of the last few inputs. I'm not 100% sure. These ratings could be completely wrong too, because they are only updated like every second, so they might be a little behind. I'll look into that though. It appears for the most part to be working. So I'm going to go ahead and make a backup real quick. Let me just put these back to normal. I'm going to see if I can get that error. So that's it. It was just like a fluke or something. Maybe it's because I reloaded the scene on the other side. Maybe it was something in the scene causing problems. It's entirely possible. All right, cool. So let me back this up. What did I call that? Network display. I do need to tidy the code up quite a bit. Like, I'm going to have a separate script for the network traffic and one for the ping instead of having it all under one script. It's kind of messy having it all under one script. It's not really a great way to do it. So I'm going to do that and go from there. But it's working though. And now we have something new to put in fish networking as well. So that's always a bonus, right? I'm going to go ahead and take off though. Looks like I've been running the stream for about an hour and 50 minutes, which is longer than I intended. But what's done is done. Thank you all for watching, and I guess I'll have this feature in the next update. All right, see ya.